On today's churchtechcast.com Q&A show, cameras, adding in a triple head to go, and the next step beyond static cameras. Hi, and welcome again to another episode of the churchtechcast.com screencast show. This is the show where every week I answer your church tech questions. My name is Paul Allen Clifford, and I'm your host. I'd love for you to ask your questions, by the way, so that I can answer them. So either leave your question below the video. That's perfectly cool. I get them, whether they're on YouTube or on trinitydigitalmedia.com. Either way is cool. Or if you're listening to the audio, just drop me a line, paul@trinitydigitalmedia.com, or hit me up on Twitter, Paul Allen Cliff, PaulAlanclif. Those are both cool ways to get in touch with me, and those are the ways that our questioners of the day got a hold of me. Starting with Jeremy, Celtic Tornado is his Twitter handle, and he asks, do you have suggestions for a camera to live stream HD? Yeah, actually, I'm a fan of the Canon Vixia line for smaller churches. If you were going with a larger church, there are much better options. But if you're just basically looking for something small, let me give you an opportunity to look and see what they look like, because this is the line of cameras that they use exclusively over at twit.tv, twit.tv, for all their live streaming, and they look great. Of course, they've got good lighting, so make sure you've got good lighting, but you can get some pretty good video out of consumer level camcorders. So that's where I would start. If you have a little bit more money, Panasonic makes good cameras, Canon makes good cameras, Sony makes good cameras, all the way up to, the top of the line stuff. So I think I would start with the Vixia line for streaming purposes and just go from there. Next, from Ben, who's actually in Paris, France, he says, hello, Paul. We have a one-screen system with an iMac, 16 gigs of RAM with ProPresenter 5 through an ATEM connected to 4 cameras and the video projector, all with HDMI SDI. And the same image are broadcast live with openbroadcast and YouTube Live with a PC. In the next 2 weeks, we upgrade our system and we'll have 2 more screens, and I'm going to go for the multiple modules plus triple head to go. But how am I going to choose what I'm going to stream and put the lyrics on it without another computer or another guy? I mean, if I want to control the 3 full screens with ProPresenter, is the IMAG could work through livefeed into ProPresenter 5, no delay? How am I going to put lyrics from my broadcast and not on IMAG? Thanks for your answer, or even drawings if you can send me, Ben. So we were talking back and forth, and initially I thought that he just wanted to know how he could go between one of the sources from the triple head to go and his iMac feed to go for live streaming, but it's actually much more complicated than that. The triple head to go, each of the 3 screens will have its own video from the triple head to go. That makes sense, but it will also have iMac. That makes it harder. And he also wants to send that iMac feed to the live stream and occasionally bring up video from ProPresenter without extra people. Okay, So here's what we landed on. The right way to do this is with like a 2ME switcher that has a few auxes. Actually, a 3ME would be much better, but let's just say a 2ME, and you could have 1ME mix effect bus on the switcher. Basically, an ME is like its own self-contained switcher. So each of those MEs could do something slightly different. So you'd have one ME that's just for IMAG, the other one that is just for the live stream, and then you'd go from the using the auxes, you could take in your propresenter feed and switch between the IMAG feed and the feed for the triple head to go. So that's the way that I can do it. One problem that I see immediately is if you do that, the auxes only have a cut transition. So if you don't like that, the only way to get around that is put something up in all three screens that's the same. Let's say video from the middle screen, that goes up to all three screens, and then you cut on the two sides to what they're going to be. So that's the right way to do it. Unfortunately, he doesn't have money for the right way. So this is the wrong way to do it that will work. The wrong way to do it that will work is to have a HDMI selector switch. So you either have HDMI coming from the triple head to go, or HDMI coming from the ATEM switcher with the IMAG, and then you just switch what you want. There's a visible glitch, and as soon as the people with the money get tired of that, then you can do it the right way. So that, I think, is going to be the way that you do that side of things. One thing that you can also do is have another computer slaved to your primary ProPresenter computer so that all the transitions happen at the same time, but have the secondary, the slaved computer, not have stuff that you don't want, and send that to your live stream. So I think a combination of those strategies will get you where you want to go. And I hate it that stuff costs a lot of money, but you know, there's the right way, and then there's the, well, we don't have a choice way. So you choose appropriately. Finally, Greg Simmons via Twitter asks, what next steps can I make on upgrading from 2 static shots using HDMI consumer cameras using Wirecast to encode and switch shots? Well, you got a ton of options. First off, the first thing I would do is I'd put those 2 cameras on good fluid head tripods, hook up a couple of camera operators to communication systems so that you can change your shots. Step 1, I think that's kind of a no-brainer. You could also get better cameras, you could get a better switcher, do some things like that. So those are kind of your options. You can also, it just occurs to me, I think I told you this actually, that you could add in more cameras, and that's going to give you more flexibility and more variety. If you don't have people for more shots, you could put those cameras on pan tilts. I think generally they don't have the best response. They don't look very human. They look very mechanical in their movements, unless you get something really high end, but it sounds like that would be kind of silly given your entire system. So something for you to consider. So I hope that's helpful. And I hope that helps you. If you found this information helpful, by all means, head on over to trinitydigitalmedia.com/gifts, GIFTS, and there you can pick up a free gift and a subscription to my newsletter, and I'd love to have you join me there. I do have something kind of exciting that's brand new. I've just launched a class called Learn ProPresenter Fast, and if you just go to learnpropresenterfast.com, you can join me in that class if you're curious, more questions about ProPresenter. Until next week, this is Paul Allen Clifford with TrinityDigitalMedia.com.